Okay, better now. So my name is Wojtek Breiter. I am from the KIT, which is in Karlsruhe, and I'm pretty new to SMW. But I'll work on the role-based access control in SMW. I realized I have little time, but it's no problem. I'll keep it short, so everybody gets on time to the lunch. So let's get started. What is the good motivation for access control? As we know that MediaWikis or wikis in general are there to provide a bright knowledge base, but if from a point of view from enterprises or from companies, they are really have an interest in keeping the sensitive data in a secret. Yeah, so there's one big point is associated with the security concerns. And for example, my institute is working on a project, it's called Syntec. It's there to describe some future technologies, and companies could use it to make some strategic plans. And if you're one person from a company, you don't want to know you don't want everybody to know your strategy, of course. So what are the typical requirements for such a scenario for having a company using a Semantic MediaWiki for their knowledge base? First of all, we'd like to have user-based access control so that separate pages and properties and stuff can be protected for only one user, or it can be readable for one user. But also if there are larger companies, this is the group-based access control is the must-have. So imagine you have a company with 50 or 100 or even more people, then you don't want to have maintain a list for every single user, but rather than group them together. Yeah, what do we want to protect? We want to protect single pages. We'd like to protect some namespaces. But of course, since we are here at the Semantic MediaWiki Conference, we also would like to protect semantic properties. Yeah, what's really important, I already said it, is the security. This is really crucial on this. And also the plugin, the access control plugin or the access control extensions should be easy to install at yeah, for security reasons. They should work with current MediaWiki and Semantic MediaWiki versions. And yeah, I'm a student, but I'm making my living as an IT support guy, so you can believe me. It wasn't of the most important stuff is it must be easy to use, otherwise the people won't use it or they will make mistakes. So that's not what we want. We want to have a graphical user interface in BEST, which is easy to use. So yeah, when searching for these extensions, I've came along to a MediaWiki page, which shows some security issues with authorization extensions. And this is not a complete list. This is just 3 basic security problems which can appear. For example, there's a problem with transclusion. If we have a document B with some text, and we include it into document A, then this is called transclusion, like you can see on the picture on the slide. And if document B is protected, then it shouldn't be visible if it's embedded in document A. If not, if there's a third document C, which includes an A, so like a transclusion inception. So this is not good to have, but fortunately, this seems to be fixed when using some extensions. I think it's MediaWiki 1.10, so a long time ago. And the other security reasons that are probably there and they are crucial are when using preloading, so that you don't click on the edit button if you don't know. But if you know the URI, then you can type it in your browser and then see the content of the page. This is not what you want to do. You don't want to have an XML export or to appear the restricted things on RSS feeds, for example. But even therefore, there should be a solution already. So if, yeah, since MediaWiki 1.12, so probably if you do it right, it's probably solved. Yeah, first step, if you don't want to do it from scratch, and I'm lazy, so I Googled, and I thought, yeah, on first look, I found 12 extensions, which could possibly fit for my purpose. But after a short view, yeah, it's only two left. Some of them are really long, aren't maintained very long, so they're already achieved. Some of them don't provide single page protection. Some of them are really then outdated, like the first one. And yeah, the worst things is when there's no group policy, like from the extension whitelist, which you can see on the top of the down of the page. So what is what's left from this list is the Halo ACL and intra ACL. Plus, I've done some further Google research and found something that's called Semantic ACL and Semantic Access Control. So these are the 4 candidates that probably could fit our purposes, our wishes. So let's have a quick look on it. And the first one is the Semantic Access Control. On the plus side, there's a graphical user interface. We can work with groups. There's a page-specific access control, which can be set up from the GUI. And also it can be embedded into templates, like there's a usage example. The left one is if we want to set up user protection, and the second one on the right side is for the group protection. So this is basically it's okay, but there's no access control and properties which we would like to have. So let's go further to Semantic ACL access control list. This one has access control for properties, which is nice. What it doesn't have is a graphical user interface. And it has some security flaws. It only prevents direct views. So if you go to edit mode or you make this transclusion, then you can see all these things you didn't want people to see. So the third one is the Halo access control list. This one was is part of a package called SMW Plus. It was a huge package, and I think it was presented last year's conference or 2 years ago. But the problem here is it was made by enterprises. Enterprises went bankrupt, so it's not maintained anymore. But it's really nice to use, as you can see on the screenshot. There's a nice explorer. You can click on everything, and it is really self-explaining. So this is. If it only works with modern or actual versions of MediaWiki or Semantic MediaWiki, that'd be great, but unfortunately it doesn't. And the second thing is it's not a standalone extension, but it depends on 2 other extensions, so there's the same problem. It possibly could be then that if you maintain one, that the other one may have problems too. So, and the last candidate is something that's called intra ACL. Their homepage says they eliminated some flaws and bugs from Halo ACL, which is based on. I haven't checked it. I didn't look in the code, so I must believe it. But it's really nice. There's a nice graphical user interface. It's really easy to install. It's easy to use. It's working with up-to-date Semantic MediaWiki and MediaWiki. But there is no access control for properties. So overall, we could say there's a graphic and there's clearly something that you see that there is no perfect solution, at least not for the purpose that we are having. So that's what we or better said, I will be working on is to bring Halo ACL up to date. I hope that I file all the deprecated methods and variables that I use and can replace them with some current stuff. But if that doesn't work, there will be some work from the scratch. So this was the last slide. So I thank you for your.
Good news. Halo ACL has been updated for Semantic Wiki 1.8 and MediaWiki 1.19. So if you're talking about resolving issues of being outdated, the hope is that you'll be looking at beyond 1.19.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I would like to have it on the current versions. So
I'm sorry?
I would like to have it on the current versions. So when I'm going to update it, then I would like to have it on
So the big
MediaWiki.
issue with Halo ACL, of course, is it requires patching.
I know.
The kernel, I mean to say the...
I know I had a hard
Media
time
with-
setting it up, so I know what you
Yes.
mean, and I was sitting behind you, so I seen your screen, and I already knew that you are using this SMW plus stuff. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But is your intention to... I bring up the patching because the issue, it would be good if we could get some of those patches put into the core.
Yeah, of course.
And the question is, to what extent have you been pursuing that strategy as opposed to just trying to update the patches?
Well, to be honest, I haven't thought about it yet, but I know about the patches and that the core has to be patched. So if there's a way to prevent it, I would really like to prevent it. So I'm not sure how to do it, how I'll do it yet.
I'd like to ask you, why did you not choose to update the intra ACL and to fix the missing
course.
feature?
This would be a second approach. If there's, I first had it on a slide, but I didn't. I wasn't sure. So there's a possibility to update Halo ACL or to expand the intra ACL for the access control and properties. So yeah, could be a possible solution too. Thank you.
Another question, we made hard research last year with all this extension, and we probably tested all of them and also installed Halo ACL, and finally we came up to a completely other approach, which is a private page protection. This was made by Daniel Kinsler from Wikipedia, and we improved it a little bit, and maybe we can provide a graphical user interface for this next year. We have a test environment where it is already working, and there you have per page protection and you can predefine group rights in your local settings, and you can protect categories, you can protect pages, and you have it show in all these issues with RSS and so on. Transclusion and so on. It works quite simple because it uses tags for the protection, and the trick is that we render out this text in your wiki page before it is loaded in the editor, so that nobody has to see the text, and then you can use this graphical interface to define your protections, and when you save it, it will automatically include this text again in the wiki text. So because the text on the wiki text, you have covered all the issues with transclusion and so on.
Yeah, that sounds
So
great.
maybe we can
that
get in
would be
contact
great,
about
yeah.
that.
As long as I remember, there was several things to type into the local conf file, and I didn't consider this as user-friendly and easy to use. But if you have found a solution for that, I'm open-minded for every approach to get it work.
Yeah, actually, we can even organize a little bird of a feather session about the ACL, because there is a difference between hiding something so that the I don't know, the secretary or the accountant don't scare their guts of seeing all the nasty stuff meant to be visible for managers, and the other thing is to actually restrict the access, and ideally to the extent that you can store the personal information and credit card numbers. And I think for today we don't have anything working for the second use case I mentioned.
Halo ACL will provide protection on a property basis, and that's, I think, the scenario that you're sketching, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't have much time now to discuss it, but I really think we can move to this second conference room and discuss the how can we put forward these patches to MediaWiki core. Is there really some disadvantages for MediaWiki, for Wikimedia Foundation to get these patches accepted? So.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.